In a small village on the island of Motunui, there lived a spirited and adventurous girl named Moana. Moana loved the sea, its gentle waves and vast expanse, whispering secrets of distant lands. Her grandmother often told her tales of a majestic treasure hidden deep within the ocean, a gift from the demigod Maui. One day, as Moana gazed out at the horizon, she felt the sea calling to her. Her eyes sparkled with curiosity, and the desire for adventure grew deep in her heart. Moana's grandmother saw this and encouraged her to follow her heart, to find the treasure that would restore the joy and prosperity to their island. With courage and determination, Moana set sail, her small boat carrying her towards the unknown. Along her journey, she befriended the ocean, which playfully splashed around her boat, guiding her path. The stars twinkled above her, encouraging her to keep moving forward. As days passed, Moana encountered challenges that tested her bravery and wit. She battled fierce winds and waves and navigated through mysterious waters. Creatures of the sea danced around her. Always, the ocean was there to protect and guide her. Finally, Moana reached a distant island where she saw a shimmering cave hidden behind a waterfall. She could feel her heart beating faster as she carefully made her way inside. The cave glowed with an ethereal light, and inside lay a treasure unlike any other, a beautiful shell that radiated warmth and magic. Moana realized the true treasure was the journey itself and the friendships she forged along the way. She returned to her village with newfound wisdom and tales of her adventure, sharing the shell's magic with her people. The shell brought prosperity back to Motunui, but more importantly, it reawakened their love and respect for their vast ocean. As the sun set on the day of her return, Moana sat at the edge of the ocean, her heart full of joy. The ocean whispered to her still, promising new adventures and stories yet to be written. And with a smile, Moana knew she would always be the daughter of the sea.
Once upon a time, there was a little girl named Goldilocks. She had lovely golden hair that shone in the sunlight. One day, while exploring the forest near her home, she came across a cozy little cottage. Curious, she knocked on the door, but no one answered. Feeling adventurous, she pushed the door open and stepped inside. Goldilocks found herself in a warm kitchen where a delicious smell filled the air. On the table, there were 3 bowls of porridge. Being quite hungry, Goldilocks decided to try the porridge from the biggest bowl. Ouch! This porridge is too hot, she exclaimed, quickly moving to the next one. The medium-sized bowl was much too cold, but the smallest bowl was just right, and she ate it all up. After her meal, Goldilocks felt very sleepy. She wandered into the living room where she found 3 chairs. She climbed into the biggest chair, but it was too hard. The medium-sized chair was too soft. However, the tiniest chair was just right. As she sat, it broke to pieces, causing her to tumble to the ground with a thud. A bit shaken, Goldilocks still felt sleepy, so she made her way upstairs. There she found 3 beds. The first bed was too hard, the next was too soft, but the third one was just right, and Goldilocks fell asleep. Unbeknownst to Goldilocks, the cottage belonged to 3 bears: Daddy Bear, Mummy Bear, and Baby Bear. They returned home from their walk and noticed someone had been eating their porridge. Daddy Bear growled, "Someone's been eating my porridge." Mummy Bear said, "Someone's been eating my porridge." And Baby Bear cried out, "Someone's been eating my porridge too, and they've eaten it all up." In the living room, they saw their chairs had been used. Daddy Bear grumbled, "Someone's been sitting in my chair," while Mummy Bear echoed, "Someone's been sitting in my chair," and Baby Bear squeaked, "Someone's been sitting in my chair and it's broken." Finally, they went upstairs. "Someone's been sleeping in my bed," growled Daddy Bear. "Someone's been sleeping in my bed too," said Mummy Bear. And Baby Bear wailed, "Someone's been sleeping in my bed, and she's still here." Goldilocks woke up to the sight of the 3 bears looking at her. Startled and a little frightened, she jumped up and ran out of the house as fast as her legs could carry her. She ran all the way home, promising herself she would never enter a strange house again. And so, the bears fixed their home and all their things, and Goldilocks learned a valuable lesson about respecting others' belongings. From that day on, she was a bit more careful whenever she explored the forest.
Once upon a time, in a small village at the edge of a dense forest, there lived a poor woodcutter with his two children, Hansel and Gretel. Times were hard, and the woodcutter's wife, the children's stepmother, was often concerned about how they could continue to feed everyone. Late one night, when Hansel and Gretel were supposed to be asleep, they overheard their stepmother whispering to their father. "There is not enough food in the house," she said. "We must take the children into the forest and leave them there so we can survive." The woodcutter, although heartbroken, reluctantly agreed. Hansel, being a clever young boy, decided to collect small white stones the next morning before they went into the forest, as he knew what was to come. The following day, as they made their way deeper into the woods, Hansel dropped the stones secretly behind him to mark the path back home. When the stepmother left them alone in the forest, Hansel reassured Gretel not to cry. When night fell, the moonlight illuminated the path made by the stones. They returned safely to their father, who was joyously surprised to see them again. The stepmother was not pleased and determined to try again. The next day, she locked the door so that Hansel couldn't pick up more stones. Instead, Hansel left a trail of breadcrumbs behind as they walked into the forest deeper than before. Unfortunately, they were not aware of the birds that soon ate all the breadcrumbs, leaving Hansel and Gretel lost. As they walked, tired and frightened, they came across a delightful sight, a little house made entirely of sweets and candy. Hungry and tempted, they began to nibble on its sugary walls. Suddenly, the door creaked open, and a kindly old lady invited them inside, offering more food. Unbeknownst to them, she was a wicked witch who lured children for her meals. She locked Hansel in a cage to fatten him up and put Gretel to work, cooking and doing chores. However, Gretel was clever too, and she planned how to escape. When the witch ordered her to crawl into the oven to check if it was hot enough, Gretel pretended not to know how. Frustrated, the witch demonstrated and stooped inside. Quick-thinking Gretel gave her a hard shove, and the witch fell into the fiery oven. Gretel freed Hansel, and together they found the witch's treasure of gold and jewels. They returned home to their father, who had been searching for them night and day since they vanished. Reunited, the family lived joyously with plenty of food and wealth from the witch's treasure. And so Hansel and Gretel learned to outweed danger, and the family lived happily ever after. In the quiet village of Puddlebrook lived Horus the Hedgehog, a curious little creature with a heart full of adventure. Horus wasn't an ordinary hedgehog. He had a magic bicycle that could take him to mysterious places and enchanting realms. The bicycle was as splendid as it was magical, with sparkling wheels and a frame that shimmered like stardust. It was a family heirloom passed down through generations, bestowed upon Horus by his grandfather, who was a renowned explorer in his day. One crisp autumn morning, Horus decided to embark on a new adventure. He donned his favorite scarf and set off on his magical bicycle. With a gentle push, the bicycle sprang to life, lifting off the ground and soaring into the sky. Horus felt the wind tickle his quills as he soared over the fields, each pedal stroke carrying him further from home. The magical bicycle led him towards the Whispering Woods, a place known for its hidden secrets and enchanting flora. The woods were alive with the sound of chirping birds and rustling leaves. As Horus ventured deeper into the forest, he stumbled upon a peculiar sight: an owl sitting atop a branch with a twinkle in its eye and a book under its wing. "Greetings, Horus," hooted the owl. "I am Oliver, the keeper of the secrets of the Whispering Woods." Intrigued, Horus hopped off his bicycle and approached Oliver. "What secrets do the woods hold?" he asked. "Ah, there are many," Oliver replied, "but today you shall learn the secret of the shimmering pond, the heart of the forest." With Oliver guiding him, Horus pedaled toward a hidden path leading to a radiant pond glistening under the sunlight. The pond was magical, reflecting images of dreams and wishes from long ago. Horace leaned forward and saw visions of his family exploring far-off lands, discovering treasures, and sharing laughter. The pond whispered tales of bravery and friendship, stories that made Horace's heart swell with joy. As the sun began to set, Horace climbed back onto his magic bicycle, ready to return to Puddlebrook. "Thank you, Oliver," he said warmly, "for the tales and the adventure." "Farewell, Horace," Oliver called. "Your journey is just beginning. Trust the magic of your bicycle, and it will guide you to wondrous places." With the promise of more adventures, Horace pedaled home, his heart full of excitement and dreams yet to come. For in Puddlebrook and beyond, there were endless mysteries and magic waiting for him and his miraculous bicycle.